What's going on, guys? Dark Scheme here, bringing you some Halo 3 action today. We're playing Team Slayer on Narrows, and today's topic is actually going to be an event that's going on, and it's going to be happening a few hours after I post this video on YouTube. But the event is the HCS All-Star Halo 2 Classic Showdown. Now, what this is actually an event put on by 343 Industries, where they're going to be pitting a 4v4 tournament with players from the 343 Pro team and the fan-chosen HCS All-Stars team. Now, what this is they actually put out a poll of 8 top pros who are currently in the HCS roster, or actually tournament, and they had us vote for the 4 players that we wanted to see on here. Now, since then, the polls have been closed, and the 4 winners chosen to be on this team as the All-Stars team is Snipe Down, Roy, Ace, and Ogre 2. Now, these guys are going to be playing up against the 343 Pro team, and the 343 Pro team is consisting of Ghostiyami, Neighbor, Dursky, and Strongside. Now, what these guys are going to be going into is a Halo 2 Classic competitive matches, and the first few matches are actually going to be the first game, I believe, is going to be Capture the Flag on Midship. And this is actually going to be a really interesting map. Midship back in the Halo 2 days was one of the classic matches where you could play that on this map and you would not get tired of it. It was a very balanced map. It was a very fun and very chaotically oriented, I guess is the phrase I would use, because you would always see so much happening, but at the same time you would see the top teams who knew what they were doing, who would control the chaotic momentum and use that against the other enemy team. And this is going to be a really interesting match, especially because if you think Team Slayer on Midship was chaotic enough, Capture the Flag with an objective in mind is going to be pretty much all hell breaking loose. But anyways, moving on to Game 2. Game 2 is actually going to be Team Slayer on Beaver Creek. Now, this one's a little more interesting because there's a few different factors. Sure, the maps are relatively the same size, but there's actually power weapons on this map, and the ability to port from the backside of one of the bases to the other backside of the bases. And what I'm going to be looking specifically here from teams is the abilities to control these portals and to pretty much control the power weapons as well. Simple as that. Game 3 is going to be Team Ball or Team Oddball on Lockout. And this one, I think most people have an idea of what's going to be happening on this game type, especially because Lockout has had a remake into the Halo 2 anniversary, and there's been a lot of different game types used on Lockdown on this remake, so a lot of people know how to play this match. But I mean, this is actually on the classic engine, so we'll see if these pro players remember the strategies on these maps and stuff like that. I think that's one of going to be the biggest factor, is how well practiced, or not really practiced, but how well they remember what to do and execute on those strategies. The next game type is going to be Neutral Bomb Assault on Midship. Again, this is going to be one of those chaotic and momentum shifting game types where there's a possibility where one team just dominates for the entire match, and then out of nowhere one person can go off, get a double kill, get a triple kill, and pretty much shift the momentum for his team. So this is going to be really awesome and fun, especially because arming the bomb is just there's just so much stress going down during that game type when you're arming the bomb, when you're trying to stay alive so that you can touch the bomb for that last second that it needs to get armed, stuff like that. And if it actually goes to it, the Game 5 game type is going to be Team Slayer on Ivory Tower. Now, for me, I was never really a big fan of Ivory Tower, especially competitive-wise. I felt like it was too one-side oriented for as big of the map it was. I mean, just the size of the map wasn't that great because, like I said, all the focus was concentrated on one area, and that area was Sniper Tower. Now, we're going to see pretty much the initial push is going to be towards the power weapons, and the power weapons is the rockets, which is in the middle kind of area, but it's down low below the sniper tower. And then we're gonna see people go for the sword, which is all the way at the bottom. Now, like I said, I think this should be an interesting match. Seeing pro players actually play on a map like this, and seeing what kind of strategies they have or they can make up right, right off the top of their heads. But it's going to be really awesome. I hope you guys check it out. Like I said, I'm going to have a link in the description, and you guys can check that out. It's going to be happening today at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And guys should definitely stay tuned after the actual tournament, because they are also going to have a 2v2 with viewers. So what they're going to do is they're actually going to have Neighbor and Strong Side teamed up with one viewer each, and they're going to have 2v2 matches going down, and that's going to be pretty interesting to see if these pro players can actually team up with viewers and know how to teach them the game, and let them know, like, hey, like, this is what the strategy for this map, and we're going to be sticking around this area, or like, if you get shot, come back to this area and I'll help you and stuff like that. I mean, it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really fun. Overall, this is just a fun little event. I mean, there isn't any really big payoff, but it's one way to gain some exposure for Halo. So I will definitely be checking this out, and you guys should check it out as well. But anyways, that's pretty much the game, and that's pretty much it for me as well today. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.